those young people that are coming out of school that have great jobs, that they're in, amazing professions, but don't know where to get started or don't know how to help. They don't have the money saved, or they don't have their credit built. They don't have the income history. You know, Making it not taboo to talk about money, credit, how much you bring in, how much you're spending, how much you're budgeting. This
Yeah.
is a viable way. If you can't own your home, if there's no shame, there's no downside to getting help. Everybody needs some help at some point, right? If you want any long lasting, success, that's you have to be able to win-win with everybody involved. That's right. That's right. And yeah, and very similar with the rent to own process. Like Adam, my business partner, had done one or two projects before we started partnering. And that's why I was so, interested to learn the process. And that's why in this duplex conversion, it was a similar type thing. I wanted to kind of learn everything that was going on. And it was a great experience. I would do it again for sure. But yeah, always looking at different types of investing strategies. It seems like there's just so many. It's like, shiny penny squirrel syndrome of all the different types. US investing, Airbnb, apartment complexes, all that kind of stuff. But I try to stick to what I know. And if there's something that I want to learn, then yeah, I will dig in and learn more about that. And yeah, and hopefully one day, invest in different types of strategies as well.
Cool. So I'll say our business because we're in the same type of business, but you feel with the market the way it is and it has been in the past few months and maybe years and where it's going, you think in our business we're going to struggle even more or it's going to be easier? What's your opinion on the market with our business?
Yeah. You know what? Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball on where it's going. Yeah, the increase of the purchase prices have been really wild, 20+%. It's definitely every time that we're going and looking at properties with clients, there's multiple offers, competition, so that's proven to be difficult. But I do think that there is going to be a bigger need for people that need help to qualify. Like, there's those young people that are coming out of school that have great jobs, that they're in, amazing professions, but don't know where to get started or don't know how to help. They don't have the money saved, or they don't have their credit built. They don't have the income history. I think rent to own is really primed to continue to grow because it's that bridge to home ownership. It's tough. Like, if you don't have the bank of mom and dad, or if you don't, have that money saved up, or, you are a newcomer into the country. We've seen, like, if you're investing, the amount of newcomers that are coming into Canada that don't have the credit history. It's not good or bad. It's just not built up, or
Mhm.
they've come here because of work, but they've just started their career. Um, and again, the credit scores, I think everybody could use a little bit of education about their credit score, right? People understand it. Some do, many people don't. It's not something that's taught in school. It's not something that's easily available and ready to learn. And it is individual to everybody. All three of us could have the same number. We could all have the same credit score, but it's all different. Why is that credit score? Your money's, debt service ratio, what you owe, how many
Yeah.
lines of credit are open. So that education piece, I think it is primed. Yeah, just like anything, there will be difficulty. There's multiple offers. There's it just, if you're buying anything today, if you're buying multifamily, if you're buying single family homes, it's just, it's become front page news on every news article. The last election, they were talking about it, affordable housing. It's become an issue, right? So real estate is not something like in the shadows of, oh, this is maybe something to try to invest. So more and more people are coming in, so there's just more demand. And I think, like, we just got to get better at what we do. And I
Mhm.
think the good part is that when we're working with our clients, we have a set budget. We know what they're able to purchase, so we're not buying on emotion. Sometimes the clients get emotional, right? Because they want the house, they want that bigger area, they really want that. But we're there to keep them in check, to say we're not buying on emotion. We have to stick to this budget, or the program's not going to work. And I think that's what's helping us as well. It's unfortunate because, yeah, being outbid and, 100 $200,000 over asking, people are like, yeah, that's normal these days. And I don't know. I don't know where that changes or how that changes.
You touched not a delicate subject, but a great subject, which is the credit. And I feel that our education system and what people learn in life is limited with the credit. And I feel that when we get older, that's where we see the impact and where it's a major factor in our lives, and it's going to help us or hurt us.
Yeah,
That's right.
And I feel that a lot of customers lack education, and not it's not their fault. It's just it's not out there, the education, and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it at school. We don't talk about the importance, and we don't when you start in life, you're 16 years old, 17, 20 years old, that credit is gonna help you and get a head start in life. And you need credit for pretty much everything today. And that's how they sell it. They're gonna give you a Visa a credit card before talking about credit, you know? I mean,
You're exactly right, and I actually have a personal story. It's exactly what you're talking about, and it was funny. It was a trip to Montreal. So I was 18 years old. I had gotten a credit card maybe 6 months before, and we went to Montreal. Right, you go there, you party. You had to be 19 to party or to drink. So you'd go to Quebec because the league. I think it's still 18 in Quebec.
18, yeah.
18. So yeah, so I was 18. We went to Montreal. And it was the Parasuco store. Shout out to Parasuco, okay? But and I had my Visa card, and I went crazy in there, jeans and shirts and sweaters and hats and toques, and just filled up shopping bags of stuff. And when I got back, my parents, my mom was like, "Where, how did you buy all this stuff? You saved up to go on your trip, because it cost, for the bus and everything like that. But how did you buy all these new clothes?" I said, "Well, I put it on my Visa, Mom. That was easy. I got a Visa and I put on the Visa because you have to pay for that." I said, "No, I gave it to them and they gave me the stuff. Simple." I walked out thinking, it's like a debit card. So I'd racked up. It was probably at the time, it was like, $600. And at that 18 years old, that's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And luckily I got like a 0% loan from my parents to pay the Visa card so that I was able to pay it off. And then I paid them back, well, obviously at 0%, not at like 22%, like, credit cards. But I learned, I was like, oh my God, then I hated credit. I'm like, oh, they're trying to trick me. They just want me to spend more to pay it off. So then I hated credit. I loved it because I got all the stuff. Then I hated it. But it was for me at that point, and I was lucky enough to learn about what credit was, and had the conversation with my parents about how credit worked, and the importance of credit, and if you're not able to pay it off, then you shouldn't buy it, or if you don't have a plan to pay it off. And now I think the world, like you said, runs on credit these days, right? Governments, borrowing, it really is so important. So that's why we're proud that our credit team, our system is tailored for all of our clients, because again, whether they're 18 and going to Montreal and racking up a credit card bill, or there's life experiences that happen, deaths and illnesses and divorces and things like that, it's a huge part of their life. And if you can't get that under control, it's going to be very difficult to buy, and a huge purchase. And what I think is the most important investment in most people's lives is their home.
Yeah, and just to connect, I so agree with what the two of you have said, and I find it's a real flaw. Well, and then it's a question, is it a flaw or is it on purpose in our educational system, where by the time you come out of high school, or even by the time they come out of university, they have no idea how it works. Just like basic financial information, like save on every paycheck, and how does a mortgage work? What's a good debt versus a bad debt? And both of you, what you said, like with regards to the credit score, you're right that it becomes a stamp with part of your identity. And the first thing you go to the bank, like they're going to pull your score. You're trying to rent an apartment, they're going to pull your score. And how it impacts people and the choices and the ability, and in some cases, the occasions, the opportunity that they're going to have. And that is grossly, I find people are just misled and uneducated. And, I suspect sometimes they're purposely kept in the dark. So because there's some people take advantage to it. And what I like about the rent to own is that you actually give the opportunity to someone who perfectly could afford it on a dollars and cents, but has a bad history, to actually get access to the home that they would like. So I think it's in a lot of ways, you're making a huge favor to people and to society as a whole.
Yeah. I definitely, it's something that energizes me, that gets me excited. These people, they, like you said, they, in the dollars and cents, they have good incomes. They maybe saved up a lot of money, but because they don't understand their credit, yeah, they're turned down by the major banks and lenders. And it's sometimes, yeah, like you said, whether it's on purpose or, or they're, or it's not, I don't know. I can't answer that, but I have my opinions about it. But again, I think there does need to be, like Dino said, we talking more about this. These are not, making it not taboo to talk about money, credit, how much you bring in, how much you're spending, how much you're budgeting. Like when our team goes through that initial process, we're actually using, like, charts and graphs and saying, hey, this is how much you're spending on Netflix, on Crave, on, Skip the Dishes, on all these different things, and where your money is actually going and the impact on that. Oh, I paid the minimum. I keep paying the minimum. Well, okay, well, look at that. Is it actually helping you, right? Or is it that, because it says, oh, minimum payment, so people automatically assume, okay, I just have to make that payment, but they don't even realize how the interest kind of continues to build up, and through no fault of their own. If they haven't had that opportunity to learn that, then yeah, then they are lost. And I think most people are intimidated or maybe ashamed to ask for help,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to their money. And that's why we want to be an open book and say, okay, we'll use the vehicle of the home, of real estate, to fix your credit, but really that's the basis of it, is improving the whole financial situation.
Mhm.
On the other hand, guys, if there was too much education on it, Alfonso and I would be out of business. So
Okay,
Yeah,
but there's an in between. That's fair.
I
yeah,
agree. I agree.
sure.
So Alfonso, your role in the Care Up is you're president, and so the Care Up, we're talking about the education for the customers, but I feel like Care Up is maybe like some education center for the rent to own owners that have that type of business, because I feel that because I am a proud member of the Co-op, and I feel that there's a lot of help for people like me in this type of business, and there's a structure, and I feel that I don't want to talk about corruption, but I mean, bad businesses. What's fun about this is it's in place and it's structured. It's there to help people, and I think you guys are doing a great job of putting that voice out there, and like maybe changing the reputation of the rent to own program. Like you said a bit in the beginning, it sometimes has a bad reputation. So what's your plan in the position you are with the Co-op?
Yes, absolutely. It's, first of all, is to continue to educate, whether, like you said, it's the rent-to-own providers like Jag, like your business as well, Dino, for others across the country, so that when they are operating these programs, they are doing it ethically and for the right reasons. Yes, it's a business. You need to make a return. You need to keep the lights on. That's very important. But to do it ethically so that you are helping clients actually achieve their goal of home ownership. The second piece is, yeah, to educate the professionals, realtors, mortgage brokers. They're part of associations. If you're a carpenter, you're a part of association. If you're, again, a realtor, a mortgage broker, different professionals, accountants, lawyers, there's different professional associations. So my goal currently right now is to form and have, proper licensing for, providers that are doing rent to own, that you meet a certain amount of standards to provide for your clients, whether it's credit repair, whether it's education, throughout the program. So that is our goal, education. And definitely the biggest part that we've seen more and more, especially now, I think it's almost 2 years now that we've been doing with the masterminds, is really just seeing how it works. Like, again, if we own restaurants, okay, you could be, I don't know, a burger place, and another place could be, I don't know, an Italian place, but there has to be a certain amount of standards. Whether I'm cooking my pasta or you're cooking your burger, there needs to be a certain level of a service that is provided, or a certain level of criteria that it is safe for somebody to be there, right? So whether we're even the same type of restaurant, the criteria, you can have your spin, your marketing, people might be attracted to you, or I have my spin, my marketing, people are attracted to us. But there's a certain minimum level of standard that if you are going to be doing this business. So with CareUp, for me, it's selfishly, I get to meet some of the best minds, smartest people, and see how they're operating their businesses, share my experiences with them on how we've been able to grow, and ultimately make this strategy known more across the country, being able to help more people get into it. We even have investors, that people that are just want to invest in this strategy, giving them a little bit more information and education. Because when you're educated on something and you understand something, you feel more comfortable. When you're not and you're worried, there's anxiety, there's nervousness, and you typically shy away from it, right? So if we can bring it to the forefront, we can talk to more people about it, not be shy and be like, oh wait, that's the rent to own guy. Oh, don't tell anybody. No, we're doing podcasts. We want to do as many things as we possibly can to shout from the rooftops that this is a viable way. If you can't own your home, there's no shame, there's no downside to getting help. Everybody needs some help at some point. And if it is to get into home ownership so that you have that point, then yeah, we want to be able to do that. So I love being part of the group. I love, currently being the president. We are currently in talks as well too with some government agencies, to talk about how, the federal government is going to spend $1 billion on, creating a rent to own program. So they've reached out to us, and that to me is a huge piece that that we can be, help and guide and put the best practices forward to see how everybody can win. And that's where it has to be, is the client needs to win, the investors need to win, the rent to own providers need to win. Everybody needs to win. You can't, be, screwing people over on one side and profiting from the other and think that it's a sustainable model.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do many, and that's in most businesses, right? If you want any long lasting, success, that's you have to be able to win with everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Very professional, very education. It's very true. Love it. Cool. Alfonso, thank you so much. So people want to know about Alfonso Salemi or Jag Properties. Where do they go?
Yeah, visit us on our website. It's JAAGproperties.com. You can get in touch with us on the website. It's our info@jagproperties.com. We have so much information, videos, things like that we are putting out all the time on how to help more and more people. So yeah, it would be really great to reach out if you want to learn more. If rent to own from an investing standpoint, if you're a realtor, a mortgage broker, or if you're a client, reach out and we'd be happy to share more information. And I really appreciate and want to thank both you, Dino and Axel, for the opportunity to speak with you guys and be on the podcast today. You guys are doing a great job, again, educating people, sharing your stories. It's amazing. And thank you guys so much.
Well, thank you for the pleasure is shared, man. Thank you very much for attending today. As you said, we all have a role to play in that education piece, and I'm really glad that you could be on so we can share your side of it. So thank you for attending today. Again, to everyone listening, jagproperties.com, go and visit, get in touch with Alfonso. And if you'd like to continue supporting us, please share this episode with a friend who's interested in rent to own. It might make a difference for them. So leave us some comments, subscribe to the show, and in any case, tune in next week for another episode. So thank you very much, and now go make some offers. Ciao, ciao.